don't know him, make him feel welcome.
Go, mate.
Kicking off today, so he'll be inside for at least a couple of days, I'd say, inductions and whatnot, but I think he's got most of his tickets and stuff, so hopefully it'll be only a couple of days and he'll be out fine. Anniversary, Hugh Yon. It's a year since he's been at this depot. Thank you. So, not his anniversary, but since he's come here. Update on next week's work. It's pretty straightforward. HV and low voltage maintenance, some low voltage arms, and a crew going up Mount Murray Bridge on Z codes again. So that's pretty much it for this week. The gloving positions, this is still subject to a business case being approved, because that's only been set in last week. So thanks to everyone for putting their interest in. Lots of factors taken into consideration, including previous experience and balances of 3s and 4s. So Fussy's actually already accredited, so he maintains that, and he's going to stay a glover. And joining him will be Leachy, Eddie, Mark Scott, Andrew Bailey, and Paddy Matt. So congratulations to you guys.
You could smile, Pat. You could smile.
Righto, so Reece is just going to run through some switching stuff for last week's toolbox summary.
Yeah, some relevant ideas and improvements from the previous week. Things the mentors are working on, Enervin DS switch program checklist. Review of the morning discussions as well. If anyone's got any ideas they want to, or have some input into these initiatives, please let us know. General stuff, Word DS, be aware to open the blade fully to prevent wildlife birds sitting on the blade causing a possible flashover. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure someone had probably a near miss about that the last couple of weeks. Some good switching practices. Past the month without a switching incident, so well done boys, keep your heads up, it's going well at the moment. Crew identify the wrong numbered cable destination labels. Confirm their work location with switches around them, confirm if not, switching continued as normal, so well done, I'm not sure who that was. Current number of days without switching is 47. And lately also been having some issues with some DS, not being able to open them, and we seem to be one of the only depots to be doing that, so I just thought I'd run through the way that I do it, and if anyone's got any better ideas, let me know. We want to get do it the best way possible so we can keep switching incidents down and keep the switching efficient. So with these old brown DS, obviously you do your visual inspection first, make sure there's no cracks, stuff like that. And obviously you put your interrupter in first, cut the firm taps there, you want to crack the scale of the gear here, and obviously slew your bucket out the way when you're trying to pull it down. Straight down is obviously the best method. That's just the way it's going to open the best, I think. So with the new ones, I find the best way to do it is straight down. So your LV stick is pretty much straight down with the LV crossarm. Yeah, stick's LV down near the LV crossarm. Straight down like that. Obviously you slew out the way as well. These can be a bitch depending on how they've been put up. When your DF arm could either be buckled up or buckled down. So just another thing, when you're installing these, make sure that you test it 2 or 3 times, open, close, so the next guy doesn't have the same issue. If anyone wants to come and have some practice out on the back pole, I don't think anyone's been up yet. I heard Cobbs was going to buy a beer for the first person to go up there, so if anyone wants to come and see me, I don't know, 3:15 or something in the afternoon, one day or whatever. Hey?
There'll be a traffic jam for that first beer.
Yeah, so see me if you're having trouble or anything like that, let me know and I'll try and help you out. If anyone's got any good ideas and tips to make it easier for everybody, that'd be great. And also I think if we can't open them, we want a video.
I think it's a good idea because the question will get asked at some point. At least because we're not saying that they will open. Some won't open, but I think it's just good for us to have some evidence behind us if we can.
Just takes the eyes off of us if we're doing everything correctly and throws it back on Sapman because their switches are still shit. Switches somewhere. Just got a switching alert. 23rd of September 2020, unplanned switching was carried out to repair a damaged pole caused by a vehicle at Banksia Park, on Banksia Park Limco feeder. It was identified that a low switch vacuum was mistakenly used as an isolation point. No work had started and the mistake was discovered, however the main earthing had been installed. So I've got a picture here, these are the solid tap ones. Not sure it's one of those, but we're thinking it's one of those, and you can't use those as a limit. There's no mechanical lockout on it, so yeah, they realised that obviously before they started their work and consulted with knock and assumed found another limit of isolation. So the immediate learnings, the LSV user reclosed the tank with a vacuum interpreter. The distance between the contacts within the vacuum interpreter interrupter are insufficient to be used as an isolation point. So yeah, just be on your toes out there. That is it from me.
Thank you, Reece. There's not much otherwise, so no DS incidents or near miss or hazards, but in recent time there's been incidents are on the increase. Hazard near miss reporting are lower than usual. So try and get your hazards and near misses in when you see them. General depot stuff. Thanks to everyone who put their hand up to do availability assistance in the last week or so with all the storms going on. It's appreciated by the client especially, and us as well. So thank you. Just a reminder about availability of payments, because I believe some people may be putting them wrong, actually doing themselves out of dough. So if you're on 1 in 2 weeks, it's $6.15. If you're on 1 in 4 weeks, which is where our roster is set up, it's $6.10. If you're on 1 in 5 or higher than that, you're on the 600 rate. So if you're on the 1 in 4 roster here, you should always be getting $6.10. All right. Now, leaving trucks clean and organised after you've used it for the day. The next person, major example, tippers. If you're on that tipper, it's your responsibility to clean it off at the end of the day. If you're the 4A on that gang, it's your responsibility to make sure it gets cleaned off that day. You just set the next bloke up. You might have a big day the next day. You probably had a big day that day too, but do the right thing, clean off your mess, and then the next person do the same thing. Because you're just setting each other up. All right?
And that should be discussed at your briefings. So if you've got a big day set out, ask your TSW6 when you're going to get time to clean off the vehicle and how you're going to schedule that. Or break up your day while people are switching. If 2 guys have got time, send them back early to clean up. It's becoming a problem between mobilising, demobilising and leaving your rubbish for someone else to clean up. Or it's worse when you inherit it.
We start 20 minutes early the following day if we get back later the night before.
Discuss it with the 6. Have a plan to make sure the vehicle's cleaned off because it's part of the job. Right? So if it's starting early, or maybe working back a bit, or maybe just getting 2 guys moving earlier from the job site back here, but don't leave it undiscussed.
Right, next thing, we've had another Mount Barker road infringement. Dan Peroni is pretty upset about it, as you would be. Obviously talking about going down the hill. So he's got 6 demerit points and $1,100 fine. So keep that in mind. Obviously, he's not losing his licence. That was the case at one point, but that's obviously been changed. But you'd only get a couple of them and you've lost your licence. So
Just remind each other when you come back from the hills too, if there's 3 or 4 crews, let each other know. It's only 60.
Fire extinguishers, Mark, this is confirmed now, mate. Yep. So please leave the fire extinguishers out this Friday. They'll be getting checked on the IDO Tuesday, public holiday Monday. Alright, so Julie will probably put up some signs again and remind you Friday, but yeah, just chuck them out in front of your truck like we normally do. Okay.
So there are a couple of spares that we can
Just let Mark know if you can't get them done, and then he'll know to chase it up when you get back. Is that the best way, Mark?
Yeah, I'll just run them down, get them checked, and bring them back afterwards. Unless you want to organise it this week to get them done before you go away, I can just run them down.
Yeah.
All right.
We went on Friday, 12:30.
Yep. Yep. I'll get that done.
I think we're going first thing Tuesday morning, so.
Cool. A red alert just come through, got it this morning. So GSW was at Robertstown substation, pulling trace wire through a conduit. He went to pull out some filler foam and he got a bit of a shock in his arm. So he got taken to hospital for medical assessment, but he received no injury. On inspection and testing the conduit and cabling, it was identified that there was voltage induced by the cables in the conduit. So just a reminder, if you think you're working on something dead, just pulling cable, trace wire through or whatever, give it a test before you start touching, especially in pits, there's lots of little things in there. Alright, and that's it from me. Unless anyone else has got anything. Cool. Is that one, mate? That must come in, mate.